This is the plaintiff, Ian Simon. He says the defendant took his car for a ride, peeled out, and now his clutch is blown. The damage occurred plain and simple because the defendant did a burnout and laid rubber in his car. They got into an altercation over it. The unruly defendant spit at him. So here they are. He's suing for $714, the amount he's owed. This is the defendant, Emmanuel Martinez. He says the plaintiff's blaming him for a broken clutch, which is really funny because he never even drove the guy's car. That's right, never touched the thing. Turns out the big shot brought 10 thugs to beat him up one day, told him he was in the wrong neighborhood, and punched him till he bled. The plaintiff was arrested. He has a restraining order against him and owes him nada. He's accused of flooring it.
Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Okay. Ian Simon, you are suing Emmanuel Martinez for $714, a cost to repair your clutch, because according to you, he destroyed your clutch. Tell me what happened.
Correct. On the day that happened, I pulled onto the block. When I came up on the block...
Is this where you live?
Yes.
And is he your neighbor?
He lives across the street with his girlfriend.
Okay.
When I pulled on the block, he seen my vehicle. He was like, yo, that's nice, and so forth.
What kind of car is it?
I have an '89 Acura Legend. And so he was like, I was thinking about getting one of these and so forth. So he was like, can I take it for a spin around the block? I was like, sure. And at that time, I went, my aunt had called me, so I had went inside. And when I went inside, and my aunt was talking with me, and then all of a sudden I just heard the wheels doing a burnout, like going, and then I was like, okay.
When you say burnout, what do you mean?
Like you rev the engine to a high point, and then you like let go of the clutch, and then you
Did you ever say anything to him when he did that?
When I heard that, when I seen him, I said, yo, you really laid into it really hard, and I can hear that, and that's when I told him that when I came outside from after I finished talking with my aunt.
And what did he say to you?
He didn't say nothing.
All right, so how much time passes before you realize there's a problem with your clutch?
About two weeks later.
Okay, and then what's the problem that you discover with the clutch?
With the RPMs going to almost to like 6.
And so you take it into the shop and it ends up costing you $714 to get it repaired.
Correct.
So now you have to pay for this new clutch. Do you come and talk to him while it's being repaired or after it's repaired?
I came to him several times and I made the attempt. I said, what are we going to do about this? On the third time, when I came to him and I was talking to him, I was like, yo, what can we do about this, about this? He was looking at me funny. Then as he was talking to his girlfriend on the phone, I don't want to say the part, but he called me, so forth. And after that, he spit on me. And then after he spit on me, that's when I just started punching him in his face.
You punch him in his face. What
Correct.
happened with that?
A few minutes later, he comes back with the police, and I get arrested on that.
Okay, what's happening with those charges?
It's resolved because I had to do anger management and so forth, so everything got resolved.
Did you plead guilty to it?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Mr. Martinez, what's going on? He says you ruined his clutch.
No idea at all. I didn't ruin nobody's clutch, nobody's car. It was just the incident. This is the real situation. His nephew. He was
his nephew. What does this have to do with his nephew?
This is the whole situation. I believe this is why I'm here. Every day I bring my girlfriend, drop her off. I wasn't living there. I was living there, and then I got my own place. So I would drop her off. She lives with her parents. So that day I was, it was an ongoing situation. The nephew would, yell from across the street and would say, "Oh, take your fat upstairs." To my fiance. She's the mother of my child now. So she gotta have some respect. He gotta have some respect. So
How old is the nephew?
He's young. I understood.
How old is young? 12?
He was like,
how old?
He was like 19. I think 19 or 18.
All right, go on.
Finally, it got to a point that I had told the nephew. I said, "Listen, Kwame, I don't have no problem with you. All I'm trying to tell you is have more respect for my lady. That's all."
Come on up. What is this problem with the nephew?
It's not that. Ever since we were kids, we would joke around and we would say, like, go. I'd be like, go home. He'd be like, go home. And, you know, we would, like, you know, curse at each other like that. So one day he approached him and said, you know, he was like, oh, you can't have him talk to you like that. So he approached him and they said, no problem. He's like, listen, I won't talk to Jennifer like that no more. And he said, no problem. And right after this, a couple of days later, is when he started harassing him, like, you owe him
So you
money.
and the nephew actually get along fine?
We fine, but it was getting to a point that I was getting aggravated with it. It was starting getting a little annoying.
Okay,
because
but
now
you don't
that we're
have any bad blood. Once he was talked to, the nephew was cool?
It was cool, and then all of a sudden,
Well, then
that's
why
when
would
Ian
this
had
guy
started
make up that he drove the car? He drove the car, right?
No, he did not drive his car.
I don't know. I got a bad feeling about that. Now tell me about what happened with beating you up. Tell me about that.
All right, so, you know, I work every day. You know, I came that night. I came to pick up my, you know, my fiance. I came to pick her up. I said, listen, I'm downstairs. I'm about to go home. Next thing you know, I turn my face to the left, and I see Ian. He's like, you know, with a face, whatever, looking in the car, you know, and
has he been asking you to pay for his clutch at this point?
Yes, he actually.
Yes,
but it was a joke.
They were joking about it because he had helped him a year ago. Before that, my boyfriend was fixing his clutch on the block, and he had witnessed it, and they were talking about that.
Your boyfriend was fixing his own clutch?
His own clutch on right in front of the house, and that's how they became friends, because they would talk about cars and stuff like that. And after the situation that happened...
Yeah, but why is he telling him you need to pay for the clutch you ruined when you're claiming that you never even drove the car?
That's what I'm trying to say.
What happened was,
you know, I would feel better if you said, yeah, I drove the car, Judge, but how could my driving the car once have ruined the clutch? But that's not what you're saying. What you're saying is, never even drove the car. He's making this whole thing up because I had the audacity to speak to his nephew about the way he was talking to my girlfriend, even though my girlfriend and he are completely at peace and everything's fine. Yet he is so mad about that horrible thing that he's making up that you ruined his clutch when you never even drove the car. That doesn't sound plausible to me.
He doesn't have one story. He told the cops the day that he hit him that he had spit on him, and in the court.
Oh, I don't believe that. Just so we're clear.
Yeah,
I don't believe that part either. And now you tell me what happened the day that you get beat up.
So
you look out your driver's window, and he's there.
I look out my.
And he's mad about something. You're saying he's mad about the nephew, not about the fact that you won't pay for it. Go on.
So he comes to the window, and I said, "Hey, what's up?" He's like, "Oh, you told me what's up." So I sit in the car. I'm like, and then he's like, "Oh, so what we gonna do? What we gonna do about this?" I said, "What are you talking about?"
Did you get out of the car?
No, I stood in my car with both of my seatbelts on. You know, unfortunately that year.
Both seatbelts on? You have more than one seatbelt?
Unfortunately that year model is like it's like driving an airplane. They got a strap here and a strap here.
Model. It's the one that goes across and the one that goes
so I'm sitting in the car, and I look in my rear mirror. It's like about 6, 7 guys behind in the street, standing behind my car, whatever. So he's like, "Oh, come outside the car."
Wait, guys that were with him?
Yeah. Yes. You know the normal hangout crew, whatever going on over there. I don't know. So I'm not coming outside to fight you. What's your problem? So he tells me, "Oh, so how are we gonna resolve this? How are we gonna do this? How are we gonna do this? How are we gonna pay for this?" I said, "I'm not paying for anything." Next thing you know, I told him, "Listen, can you get away from my vehicle?" He says, what he tells me, he says, "Oh, I don't have to get away from your car. This is my block. You know, this is where I'm from. You can't tell me what to do. You can't tell me what to do, you know?" So I said, "Okay, no problem. You know, you don't want to walk away? Okay, no problem." So next thing you know, I called upstairs to my girlfriend.
Wait, are you still seated in the car, double belted?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So you call your girlfriend.
So anyways, I called my girlfriend. I told her, "Listen, can you hurry up down, because I got this guy next to my window, and he's harassing, you know, and he's acting really like a crab, you know, and he's standing by my door, he's standing by my window, and he's really acting like a crab, you know, and I really gotta go, you know." So next thing you know, this guy just started, "Oh yeah, I'm a crab." He threw 4 punches. He hit
into the while you're seated in the driver's seat.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that model car is like sitting in a go-kart. And you know, I'm sorry, a big man like me, I'm never gonna get in them cars. I love American cars. Sorry, I'm an American muscle guy. But I was real low, so he got some nice hits. He got some nice hits on my side right here, and I kneeled over. I threw the car in first, and as I threw the car in first, he came in, you know, more into the car. And he struck me against my nose, and he made me bleed.
Did you ever get out of the car?
No.
So you drove off?
Yeah, I drove off. I sped off,
So
corner
you
to
call
corner.
the police. The police
called
come
the
out there right then?
Yeah, the police see me bleeding. I had a shirt against my nose.
Does anybody have the police report?
We went to file for it, but it would take too long.
It would
before
take
the
2
court
weeks.
date.
It would
But
take
we
2
did
weeks.
get the
Yeah,
sheet
but I
from
got
court.
the court papers.
Let me see what the court papers are.
And in the court, when he had gone,
I'll wait until you read the court
reason why
papers.
he
I'm
punched him
sorry.
in the face in the court is because he helped him fix his car, and that he owed him money for fixing his car.
That's why fixing Emmanuel's car.
Yes, and that's why he punched him.
Did Ian fix your car, Emmanuel?
No.
No, ma'am.
That was the third story.
I
that
don't
he
know which.
used.
Let me tell you something. You're all a bunch of liars. That's a problem I'm having. The defendant hit the complaining witness because the defendant fixed the complaining witness's car last week, and the complaining witness did not pay the defendant. Did you say that to the police?
No, I didn't.
Well, that's what the police say you said, that you
I-
fixed
I-
his car
I-
and he didn't pay you.
I said I helped him with his vehicle because he didn't know nothing about fixing clutches or anything
And
like
didn't
that.
pay you.
No, I
That
wasn't.
Listen carefully
I-
to
I-
what
I
the
hear you.
sentence is. The cop says you told him that you hit the defendant here because you fixed his car last week and he didn't pay you for fixing his car. That is what the police officer says in this report. That's a third version that I haven't heard.
I understand, but I never said anything like that. But I don't know where they got that from. Because that's the only thing I said was plain and simple
Did
was.
he fix your car the week before?
No, ma'am.
There's no kernel of truth to that either.
No.
And he likes American cars,
Is
which
he-
one he was.
Oh, do you think I care about whether he likes American cars or Japanese cars? Or do you think that's what this is about?
No.
Yeah.
I got people, you know what I have? I have people who want to do street justice and then in the middle of street justice change their mind and decide they want to get my help. But that's fine because I'd rather you not do street justice, but now you got to get my help and I got to figure out who's telling the truth. And I have so many versions, I'm a little bit disturbed.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So, if somebody spits in your face, are you allowed to hit him in the face?
No,
Why not?
it's not a self-defense.
Well, but it's an act of aggression for sure.
Yeah, but only if you're protecting yourself should you use violence.
Who thinks you could?
You should. You should be able to. But isn't it assault if you do?
Well, that's my question. Is it self-defense or is it assault?
It's assault.
Okay, we'll find out going inside the courtroom.
Do you have paperwork from the repair shop?
Yes, ma'am.
Does it say why the clutch was ruined?
I believe so.
You believe so? That's pretty important. Clutch kit. Clutch. All that you've got is a receipt saying that you needed a new clutch. Maybe you just needed a new clutch. You still got to be able to prove in here, all right, that it happened the way you say it happened, which is that as a result of him revving the car, that caused you to have to buy a new clutch. You understand what I'm saying?
I understand.
And I don't have that on this piece of paper.
I understand.
You know, I'd love to be a fly on the wall in the neighborhood and figure out what actually happened with everybody, because I don't believe you fully and I don't believe him fully. But the fact of the matter is that I don't even need to get to what actually happened out there, because if, in fact, you can't prove that that one act you say he did caused you to have to get a new clutch, then you can't prove that he needs to pay for your new clutch. Okay? So my verdict in this case is for the defendant.
All right, so we get some comment from the plaintiff here after he finds out that he's on the losing end of the decision in the courtroom. What's your reaction to that?
It's not really for me to say, but he knows what he did, which one was wrong.
Will there be peace in the village?
I ain't got nothing to say to them, never again. So even though I knew, her and her mother and now all her family since they was little and so forth, but I ain't got nothing else to say to none of them.
All right, okay.
I think.
Right down this way. All right, so come on in here. The defendant side of things, well, let's step in a little bit here. What's your feeling on this?
I feel it was resolved in the right way, and as far as me and him, I live there. Unfortunately, I'm having a baby with my lady. I love her, and I'm having a lady. I'm having a baby with her, and I guess if I gotta see his face, I will see his face.
You think it's over?
Yeah, of course.
All right, let's go over to Harvey.
I think that these guys are right, that basically, if you're not using self-defense, you're going to be in big trouble. You're allowed to use reasonable force to protect yourself. And maybe a jury would say, forget the guy who spit in your face, but it's just too risky. The best thing to do is walk away. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.